I was in Washington last week, and it struck me that FDR, President Roosevelt, when he was young, he had polio. He lost the use of his legs. And I think overcoming that challenge, overcoming that question that he had, why me? Why did this happen to me? Overcoming that led him to be a much, much better leader, and a leader who really created a legacy, not just for the rich, but really impacted all the people, all the citizens of the United States and of the world after Second World War. And I think fundamental to his growth as a leader was the illness, polio, and the horrific impact it had on his health early on in his life. So reflection, sometimes it's the blows that we're not enjoying that are helping us become the people we need to be to really make a bigger, higher, greater, deeper, longer lasting impact on this world. The story of a villager who has only one belonging. The villager lives with his family, and the only thing that they own is a horse. And one morning the villager wakes up, looks in his garden, and the horse is gone. The fence is broken and the horse is gone. The villager glumly walks down into the town. He sits down on a bench next to a wise man. He says, "Wise man, it's a terrible day." And the wise man says, "What happened?" He says, "This morning I woke up, I went out to my garden, the fence was broken, and the only thing we own, our horse, had escaped." And the wise man says, "It may be good, it may be bad." The next morning the villager wakes up and he looks out, and in his garden, instead of that one horse, now there are 20 horses. His horse has gone out and found a group of wild horses and has come back, and now there are 20 horses. So he rushes down to the town, he finds the wise man, and he says, "Wise man, my horse has returned with 20 horses. It's a great day." The wise man looks at him and says, "It may be good, it may be bad." The next day, he comes glumly walking down to the village. The wise man is sitting there and he sits down. He says, "It's a terrible day." The wise man says, "What has happened?" He says, "My young son, he loved the horses. He was riding on one of the wild horses that has come in. The wild horse threw him off. He has broken his leg. He will not be able to help me in the harvest. It's a terrible day." The wise man says, "It may be good, it may be bad." The next day, the villager comes back down. He's got a smile on his face. He's super happy. He sits next to the wise man. He says, "Wise man, it's a great day." The wise man says, "What has happened?" And he says, "The army came looking for soldiers. They came to my house looking for my son. They were going to take him to the war, to the front. But they found that he was resting with a broken leg and they couldn't take him to the war. It's a great day." And the wise man says, "It may be good, it may be bad." I love this reflection on life. So often things that, when they happen, they feel like a blow, a bad thing. Weeks later, they turn out to be a good thing. Years ago, myself and a number of my friends did a program with a guy called Dr. John Demartini. And Dr. John Demartini believes the universe is perfect. Nothing is ever missing, nothing is ever bad or good. Everything serves a purpose. And I think it's an important reflection that as I am frustrated by little blows, am I excited by little wins, to sometimes take a step back and see life with the eyes of this wise man and the villager. That we don't know what is necessarily good and what is necessarily bad. And sometimes the challenges that frustrate me today are the necessary challenges that will allow me to become the person I need to be to overcome the challenges in the future. There's an exercise called the lifeline that I use in my classes with many participants. And the lifeline, people share the highlights and the lowlights, the great days and the real tough days of their life. And more I see that the people who've really faced challenge are the ones who are growing as people the fastest. So this week, I'd like to just leave you with the reflection that sometimes it's the blows that frustrate us, that we suffer, that are the greatest gifts in helping us to become a better version of ourselves. Have a good week. Look forward to hearing your emails, comments, shares. Thanks for keeping with me here in this community and inspiring me to keep the channel going. Have a good one.